Hey garden folk, just gonna propagate a new plant and start some more. So right here is what we call air roots. Some plants put them off, some don't. But if you got one that does, you kind of want to clip right here where my finger's at. You want to clip that, take it out, put it in some, I like to put it in dry soil, and you definitely don't want to put it in wet soil. If you have semi-moist soil, that's okay. If it's dry, water it right away. If it's semi-moist, maybe water it a day or two after. But I'm going to do the cut now. So I do have not a zip tie, but a twist tie. I use a twist ties to tie them up to my post to keep them upright. So I'm gonna do my cut right about there. And then actually I'm gonna go ahead and just go crazy and do, oh sorry. Oh, that one's in the way. Do another cut. There. So as you can see, or you can't see, but cut right below the roots, because where those roots are, they're going to put off fibrous roots and start growing a whole new plant. So I got one, and just give it a second. I'm going to get this other guy out of here. One and two just for today. I could go bonkers and cut more, but there's a whole bunch. But I'm gonna just let them grow up and get big. Do two right now. So some soil I got prepped. You got the plants. Since they're cuttings, I'm putting rocks at the bottom of pots. Thought I would get three, but I guess I'm only getting two. I put the rocks at the bottom of the pots because since they're cuttings, they're gonna wobble and kind of maybe topple over, so the rocks are gonna keep the pots anchored. And here is one that I already did a few weeks back. It actually, well, maybe not even a few weeks, just maybe a couple. Put it in there, it already took and already has a new growth going. I'd say give it about 2 weeks and it should be good. I had mine get acclimated inside because it was kind of hot, and now the new guy is outside in the shade on the north porch of the house. Just for you guys wondering. Today is, I think, October 7th, and the temperatures are sitting lovely. So, like I said, rocks at the bottom, just for anchorage, keep that thing steady. Since we're dealing with some new guys, I'm going to cut off this extra dude. Some people vouch for the rooting hormone. I don't know. I just go ahead and just plant it. The biology's right, so if it takes, it takes. If it doesn't, which it most likely will, but if it doesn't, try again. So, gonna put some soil in there, and actually didn't even think of it, but I'm gonna actually put some on top and keep that guy centered. I usually use a lava rock because a lava rock's lighter. These landscape rocks are kind of heavy. And bada bing, bada boom. And I'm gonna leave that on the north side of the porch. It gets about an hour of sun in the morning. I'm actually gonna put it in a spot it doesn't get no direct sun. I'm not gonna want direct sun on this guy for at least a week. I'm just gonna have him in the shade outside until I feel like he's rooted. And when am I gonna find out that he's rooted? Just gonna give him a little tug or a wiggle, and if he feels a little tighter, than he does right now. I'm gonna assume he's rooted and go forth. And best believe I'll give you guys updates. But this guy definitely, I give it a little wiggle, give it a little tug, and he ain't going nowhere. I can almost pick up the pot by grabbing him, which I don't recommend. But let's go for number 2. Putting him aside. Bada bing. No more clipping on this guy. Oh, almost forgot my rocks. And if you feel frisky and you can't hold back, it doesn't hurt misting the bottom part of the pot, like where the rocks are. Just mist it. These guys are not desert plants, so they do like a little moisture in the air. The soil, I like the soil to, if it's not dry, you want it to, if it's not dry and it's kind of wet, how wet is wet? Well, think of like a sponge and you squeezing out all the water on how it's still moist, but it's not like sopping wet. That's like how you want the soil to ideally be, but obviously you can't put your hand in there and squeeze out the water on the soil. So hint, that's why you want to use good drainage soil. And what I'm using is a mix of the cactus mix, Grow Well cactus mix with Tank's cactus mix. Just recycling some other plants that I repotted. And that is number 2. Bada bing, bada boom. And I'm gonna take this green juice. Tell you why it's green in a minute, but I'm just gonna water it in because my soil was real dry. And when will I water it again? Good question. Probably a week, maybe a little bit less if I feel like it drought out real quick. I kind of want to take these guys in. I wish I had a greenhouse, but I'm going to try to see if they can handle being outside since the temperatures aren't that bad these days. Like I said, it's October 8th, 2021, and it's been in the low 90s here in Arizona. So, like I said, fresh potted. I'm going to keep these guys in the shade. Not even a filtered sun, but full-blown shade. This is the north side of the house. I think a lot of you guys know where I live because you guys picked up free plants, so don't get frisky and try to take my stuff. So I'm gonna put him right here. He's like literally in the in-between phase. So I'm literally facing north right now, and the sun rises along here. Everything over here gets about an hour an hour or two of sunlight, and then everything on this side gets an hour or two of sunlight sunset wise. If you don't know, the sun does change trajectory depending on the season, and if you don't know, the sun changes spectrums. Morning spectrum, I think, is like blue light's better for foliage. The setting sun has a spectrum that's kind of akin to red, which is better for flowering. Don't believe me? Look it up. Sun spectrums and different spectrums for flowering vegetation. But right in the middle, these guys are not going to get really any sun. This is my Nova Tanzania. I just repotted. It's going to make a video, but I guess I was camera shy. But anyways, looks super cool, right? And then just some other guys. This is my rehab center. I'd say anything north of a house under a patio is your rehab center because it doesn't get that much sun. I'm going to move all these guys to the south side though, since everything's cooling off. Definitely don't want cactus in too much shade. Soon I'm gonna be pruning roses. I'm actually trying to find another example of these auxiliary roots. These Monstera actually put off a good example of these air roots, and that would be right here. They're not real roots, but they are roots. So if you can get any kind of plant putting off that, you can cut it right here, stick that in the dirt, and from the air roots you'll get fibrous soil roots, and that's better than a regular cutting, but you could still get a regular cutting. I really don't like water propagation just because it attracts mosquitoes, and I don't know, I just don't like it. I just like waiting. If you put it in soil and don't leave it sopping wet, then you're good to go if you're timing the biology just right. I'm trying to find another example. Another example would be strawberries. They put off these runners, and then if I could get down in there, these are like roots, air roots too. So you got the vine, shoots off a runner. If I cut the umbilical cord and plant the plant right there, the auxiliary, the air roots will take and start a whole new plant. That's literally how I started this one. It actually was many plants, but I forgot to water in the summer and died. More moringa. I've been giving out free moringa. I'm gonna give a little video on that. Moringa don't like cold, and they don't like the frost touching it. So yeah, I'm always making videos on the porch, so I guess I could give a little tour of what I really got going on. Only some, only a few. Building. I got another spot, I got a lot of stuff going, but this is my main spot. Another way of propagation. This is a mother of thousands. Sorry about the noise, guys. It's mother of thousands. A lot of people try to figure out what's the difference between mother of thousands. Sorry about the noise. A lot of people try to figure out what's the difference between mother of thousands and mother of millions. Mother of thousands actually grows the pups all the way down on both sides of the leaf. Mother of millions only grows pups on the tips. So you're like, why would the other one be mother of millions? Well, I guess on the mother of thousands, again, it grows pups all the way down. It does not seed. It only propagates through the pups. Mother of millions, the one that grows the pups only on the tips of the leaves, can propagate through the pups, and it also seeds. So you got, I guess, a double whammy. Bada bing. Alright, guys. That's just my adenium collection. Has nothing to do with propagation, but super cool, right? Alright, check you later.